Hello, my friends. Today we are on a castle tour. We are on the river cruise, Vineyards of the Rhine and Moselle with Ama Waterways. We are on board the Ama Prima, and this is an excursion I have been looking forward to for a long, long time. We are going to the castle, my friends. We are going to be able to go in, around, and explore the castle. Castle Lanark. And we are going to have a guided tour, so we are going to have details, history, and so much fun in the process. So thanks for being here today with me. Hit that like button, subscribe button. We'll want to have you back here. We are traveling around Europe on the rivers, my friends. Enjoy. We are in the upper middle of the Rhine Valley, and this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Castle Lanark is perched high above, overlooking the Rhine and Lahn rivers over the town of Lahnstein. And it is magnificent. Look at this architecture. This 13th century castle was built in 1244 by the Archbishop of Mainz. And castles were built, my friends, mainly to enforce tolls on the river. There was a toll to pass most castles and many, many other spots on the river that demanded a toll or a tax, which was often paid in the currency of the day or in goods that the ships carried. There are tales of a young woman who perished inside of this castle. The local story is that a lady from a family in town was told, just like all children of the town, never to go up to the castle, that the castle was dangerous and it was empty. But she was a blooming artist, so she went up to the castle, went up to the tower to write in her diary and draw the sights that she saw. And when she was up there, the floor of the tower fell out, and she had no steps and no way to get down from the tower. And she would wave to people as they went by on the Lahn River and the Rhine River, but people weren't from the area that saw her, and they would just wave back to her as if she was waving and saying hello. But unfortunately, she tried for many days and finally succumbed to her lack of water and food and passed away. And her bones were later found. And of course, the townspeople searched and searched and searched for her, but did not find her because they knew no child from the village would ever go into the castle ruins. Another story, my friends, is a Scottish lady. And the Scottish lady, she was traveling with her family, and she went into the castle, and she perished. All we know is that a set of bones were found in the castle tower, and the story goes that on a dark, foggy evening, you can see a lady walking around the castle or waving her handkerchief at you as you go by in the Rhine River. Either way, my friends, this castle and castle lore exists because this castle, again, was made in 1244 in the 13th century. Magnificent. And we are inside of the castle grounds, and we're going to be walking through with our tour guide a few of the rooms. And these are the cannonballs that were found nearby These catapult balls were launched at ships who did not pay toll or in various struggles and wars. Here we see wonderful items of the ladies of the house who did their sewing, and now in the kitchen. The kitchen is fascinating.
Rhine Castle has its own well, and it is 15 meters deep and still has water until today. And very comfortable and unique among the castles here in the Middle Rhine in the valley is that the well is inside the kitchen. Very comfortable for the people who worked here, because in the Middle Ages buckets were made of wood and they were very heavy, and they were still heavier when they were filled with water. So they had the water supply in the kitchen and didn't have so many long distances between the different rooms or where they were. Here to your left, this is a 15th century outlet and sink with an outlet. And the other utensils here date mainly from the 17th, 18th and 19th. Originally there was the dungeon of the castle right here. There's a hidden button here. It releases the cover of the lock. And this is where the key fits. Oh, that's so heavy. In those days, sections came to be received within the materials and the coins. So when it was filled with coins, it had a value of 600 pounds. The Knights Hall in those days was the most representative room of the castle, where a lot of the traveled in various knights and visitors and the knights. The people met in those rooms for conferences, maybe for banquets or discussions as well. And banquets were not allowed in the banqueting hall, because after the 15th of Rhine, the one or the other would not be taken in the room. Please come in. Here's where you left. There is no women. In the Middle Ages, those beautiful tapestries were not only decoration but insulation too, because the walls were very cold in winter, so it protected the people in the room from the cold and wet door. century. This one here is a special one, so-called Pappenheimer Index. Mr. Pappenheimer was the general in the 30 Years' War, and all the soldiers had this kind of helmet. It was more comfortable than the helmet to the visor because this helmet allowed the soldiers a better angle of vision. And to protect the neck here with this part. All of the soldiers wore this kind of helmet, so wherever they were, Mr. Pappenheimer could see the soldiers. This one here is a cave. Ventilation. Very clear. In the 19th century, this was as a decoration in the living house because it was not usual in the Middle Ages. This one here is an original one, maybe around 16th and maybe 17th century. This is very heavy metal. It's altogether, the piece of armor had a weight of 80 pounds. This one here already has helmet, so the new everything ties it. Yes. Especially for jousting, knights have to follow special fair play rules. And one of those fair play rules was before entering the jousting or starting the jousting. In this corner here, to my right, there's an original hunting crossbow on the table. It dates from the 17th century. It has beautiful copper inlays showing hunting scenes. And it was nothing with the rest of the because they were not allowed to carry in weapons. And so they turned the tools into weapons with the daily tools like scythes and sickles. And this is why Roman style here in Poland was not only a weapon, it was the weapon. On the more opposite view, there's a small tray of reactor Muslim. Wherever you are in the room, if you have a look at this in the left foot, the foot is pointing at you. Wherever you are in the room, the old Maximilian will still be alive in some part. You can try to that please follow me into the first of our parquet rooms. For entering the room, you have to go to the beautiful touch and the sea.
Say this is 120, that's not very old.
This row is more than 120 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we should put on the pictures. She married all of the 9 children in the highest aristocratic places. And that's why many people call her the mother of England. She was the grandmother of Queen Elizabeth II. And she was married to a German prince.
You don't want to drop your phone down there.
Was married to love and not in expectation.
Yeah, there are lots of children.
Yeah, lots of children. Yeah. One saying he once did when he was right, the more I know about the man, the more I love him. Here to my right you can see 2 portraits of Rembrandt and Van Dyck, original ones. The cupboard over there has a beautiful surface. Have a look at it. Depending on how you look on the surface of this cupboard, it looks almost three-dimensional. You can see cubes, you can see stars, you can see staircases leading up, leading down. And this is all in the cupboard over there. We from the 18th and 19th century. At that time, it was fashion that the men had very big mustaches, and those beautiful mustaches were styled with wax. And in those days, soup, for example, was not eaten with a spoon, but served directly from the bowl. And so the men had a problem when they wanted to eat a soup, because this wax-styled mustache and hot liquids. Rooms, and in this corner there's a special picture. It's a so-called quarterly bed. Translated word by word, it means what you like. It looks like a collage, but it is painted. Everything in there is painted, even the wooden underground is painted there. So very special techniques. The picture here shows a famous scene between the Greek Emperor Alexander the Great and the famous philosopher Diogenes, who lived his life, a simple life in a wine barrel. One day Alexander the Great came to the wise men and family life in every single detail. And it belonged to these two ladies, Larissa and Elisabeth. That's why it is called Villa Liselli. And the older girl, this one here, she was the wife of, later on, the wife of Vice Admiral Mischke. And now you can imagine how the beautiful daughters came here into Rhine Castle. You can take pictures.
So the young lady that died was actually up there?
So I'm guessing he throws that into weather again.
I don't know.
That's what I'm guessing. Because otherwise it would collect water like you wouldn't believe.
But look at the roots through the walls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Thanks to you.
You were in the head of the head. Yes, sir.
It's like that little crown is on.
Right above, right under the crown.
I hope you have enjoyed this wonderful trip of Lanark Castle. And if you have, hit that comment button. I want to know your thoughts. And if you would, give me a like and hit that subscribe button, because I have so many more adventures on this wonderful cruise and our continuing travels in Europe. Have a great day.